The internet is losing it over Target's new customer service policy. But here's the thing. This really isn't about Target at all. This is about how we as a society have become so socially stupid, like beyond awkward. And I hope this is a wake-up call for all of us. So let's talk.
That is our friend Giselle Ugardi on her TikTok. And you should give Giselle a follow on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you get social media. But you get to give her a follow right now on the show as she joins us live on our video stream and on the air. Giselle, it's good to see you. Oh, hang on. I muted her. Giselle, now you're on. The power I have here. It's amazing.
I know. It's good to see you, my friend.
All right. So you think that this is less about some sort of corporate over policing, over kind of managing people, and more about the fact that we've become a bunch of social misfits.
I really do. I really feel like, especially the generations beneath us, there's a reason why, Jason, have you heard of the Gen Z stare?
I'm familiar, yes.
Okay, so in case you're driving and you're listening and you're not totally sure what I'm talking about the teenagers and the 20-somethings who are in entry-level jobs who typically you're used to getting greeted. You're used to being brought to your table. You're used to being suggested orders at a restaurant that are going to be so good. And instead, you're met with stares as if you're the one who you're supposed to be doing the greeting. And maybe we blame it on gentle parenting or on being glued to devices, but it seems as though a lot of the basic social skills, manners are just not quite translating into the workforce. And actually, Jason, right now the buzz is definitely AI, but what we're also seeing more and more in demand for the future of work is soft skills, specifically communication. And if Target is implementing this 10-4 policy where they're saying that if you're within 10 feet or especially 4 feet of a customer, that you have to make sure to smile and wave and say hello and ask if you can be helpful, then what this is telling us is that we have to go back to the basics. And I'm looking forward to that. I really hope that people grasp onto it. Unfortunately, the comment section had a meltdown.
Yeah, and even this radio station all day, I feel like I was the only one saying that this is normal customer service. But people are like, well, Giselle, isn't this a forced interaction? It's not genuine. Who wants a phony, like, how's your day going from the Target person?
Exactly. So the comment section was saying they don't want the fake smile. They don't want a disingenuous, can I help you? But this is kindness, okay? This isn't about someone saying that they want to be your best friend. This isn't someone trying to sell you anything or upsell you into something. This is simply someone saying, hi, making eye contact and smiling. And I do believe that certainly from being trapped in our homes for the pandemic, that we have gotten a little socially weak. And we forget, as a coach, I have to remind even my high-level CEOs that social networking and socializing is a muscle that you have to work on. And that, no, it's not just something that comes naturally if you're extroverted. It's especially something you have to work on if you're introverted. And I would actually be willing to challenge, and often do, that are you actually introverted or are you simply out of practice? Do you really have a low social battery, or is it that you don't leave your house very much? And I also think that people want to do everything fast. Well, I don't want to do small talk, Giselle. I just want to get to meaningful conversations. The ramp up to meaningful conversations is by having
people want to have a meaningful conversation. In the real world,
in general, like people have been craving human connection long before social distancing was the way of our world. And I also feel like what we need to train and practice is that confidence is also a muscle as well. And there is something, Jason, where I get a lot of pushback when it comes to customer service, because you'll have some people who are inexperienced saying, well, Giselle, you don't know the morning I had, or this isn't even a job that I want. It doesn't matter. It's the job that you agreed to. You are literally getting paid to make someone's day or make it better in the slightest.
Yeah.
And so these are soft
concerned,
skills that you need to perform.
Yes. How is it that telling people to be at the basic level friendly? And then people lose their mind over it. Now, Dan Cook is an introvert. Dan Cook is
like
an
legit.
introvert.
I'm not just out of practice. I'm legitimately.
He's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so here's I'll give you this. My gut reaction when I heard this policy is I'm going to Target. I'm going to buy a pack of t-shirts or whatever, whatever just simple thing that I need. The idea of every 20 feet as I'm walking through this store, someone in a red shirt is suddenly, socializing with me. I'm like, I have a limited amount of social energy. That's not where I want to spend it. I'll let you know when I need some help. Otherwise, just let me go buy my t-shirts and be done and be out of there. Right. But I saw your TikTok and it did give me pause to say, well, now, wait a minute. Now, do I need to rethink how much energy is that really going to do? And
is Dan the problem?
Really going to be stopped every 20 feet. And maybe I need to give a little bit in this interaction too. So I thought it was a useful perspective.
Super duper valid. I mean, there are a few different sides to this. One is the fact that from a coaching standpoint, the way that you do create energy, because that's really what this is about. This isn't about being fake. This is about how do you create energy where no matter what kind of a day you're having or you had, when you do things like make eye contact with someone, when you force a smile, it activates warmth cues in your brain. When you ask someone if they need help and God forbid they say yes, and you can actually help make their day easier, you're contributing to your workplace and you're contributing to the world. And who knows, you might actually trick yourself into having a good day. But then there's the part that you bring up, Dan, which is that, well, okay, we also need to create that balance of, listen, if that person has been greeted a million times, you don't have to go up to them. And I think that's the important part too. With the 10-4 policy, the 10 feet, 4 feet, that's not saying make the 10 feet, 2 feet. That's saying from your 10 feet away, don't hesitate to wave, make eye contact, smile, open the door to the conversation because maybe they don't know where they're going. Maybe they don't know where the bathroom is. Maybe they do need help, but even they too are introverted and they don't even necessarily know how to start the conversation, or they're embarrassed to ask for help because Lord knows so many of us have a hard time asking for help in any and every capacity. And so it's just that little bare minimum. But I also think that what's
Can't
happened
we have
too,
fake interactions? Also,
right?
like a little fake interaction. This is the social currency that keeps a society a society. You can fake a freaking smile. You have a job in customer service. Do people think I am either as outraged as I sometimes am on this show or as thrilled with life as no, like this is phoniness is fine. A certain amount of phoniness is called being a part of society.
Exactly.
Take that, Cook. We don't need, I don't need a genuine moment from you, but pretending that you're being nice is good enough. I'll take it. It'd be better if you're a nice person, but if you're pretending to be nice, that's pretty good. I'm going to a store. Fake it a little bit.
And it's much better than going through the aisles and seeing someone who works there and being completely ignored or looking like you're crazy. That to me, there were people in the comment section who called the quote unquote fake hellos dystopian. I think it's more dystopian to be walking through a public space and just simply be stared at with zero interaction. And I also think that over the last few years, we've definitely disguised technological convenience for being social and interacting with the world. But let's think about how much we use delivery apps for groceries or for meals. There are a lot of random little daily interactions that we just don't see people. We don't talk to people. And so, yes, it's going to feel even more forced and more disingenuous and more effort to do those things because you're just not including those as part of your day. But I also think about have you heard the porcupine parable, Jason?
No.
Okay, so Daniel, appreciate this.
Okay.
The porcupine parable is basically that you have a lot of porcupines who are freezing in the winter time. And in order to stay alive and not freeze to death, they need to huddle together because that's how they create warmth. But don't forget, porcupines have quills. They're prickly. People too are prickly. And so if they get too close together, they're going to poke each other. And so then they start to disperse and take some space. But then it's not before long that they realize, but wait a minute, I need my other porcupines. I need to stay warm. And that is a parallel of the human experience where we need each other. And especially those of us who are afraid of the prickly people or afraid of the disingenuous people, we need to get through that to also be able to connect. And that's part of the human experience that all of us need to embrace, because as soon as we start ignoring each other, then that's when things go wrong.
I still think it's $1 million idea for Target. Right next to where like the baskets are when you go to pick one up, there should be another little stand there with like name tags that just say no thank you, and then those of us that aren't interested put one of those on, and we're good, right? The store employees know what they mean. We're good. It's all good.
So what you're saying is that what it symbolizes is that you desperately need a hug.
Dan needs a hug, but he doesn't want it. He can't allow himself
That
to have...
actually might be true. I may need one, but I'm not interested. Please don't.
All right, lots of good text coming in. Here we go. I was at Target yesterday. I decided to take inventory on the number of staff who greeted and or asked me if I needed help. I passed more than 6 staff. No one greeted me or smiled, and no one asked. No one asked for help. Another one says, I was in Target today and I was by over 4 employees in the aisle and no one paid any attention to me. Just because it's a policy doesn't mean employees will do it, which I think is fair. Now, the flip side to this is the woman who said, my husband went to Dollar General. He said to the cashier, a smile wouldn't kill you. I don't know that, like, maybe we could maybe keep that to ourselves. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine? But I mean, at the same time too, I do think the resting bee face has become normal. I also think the blank stare has become normal. And this is part of, again, the basic adult human mature experience. Do I need you to be as joyful and flamboyant and as annoying as we are, Jason? No. But I also
a little bit of that would be helpful, though.
Right.
We are amazing.
When you have a lot of the young people complaining about where they're at in life or that they're not making enough money, hey, the fastest way to promote yourself in any business or industry, if you are fully physically capable, is by people liking you. And how do you get people to like you? You're enjoyable to be around. I don't care how smart you are, what your grades were like. If you are enjoyable to be around and you bring good energy and presence and communication, you will be able to be successful in any area.
Giselle Ugardi is a communications coach. She is a social media voice and a force, and you should follow her on TikTok. This was great, Giselle. Also, mid-30s, so don't give me like the boomers are lecturing the 20-somethings.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. And I worked in restaurants, hospitality, customer service. Like that was my jam. So I also have like a soft spot for this.
That's right. Good stuff. Thanks, Giselle. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.